Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. The Curse of Oak Island crew make shocking find. The Curse of Oak Island has recently come back for its 12th season. In fact, the crew have already made an impressive discovery on the show. After some further research, the Fellowship of the Dig have also been speculating what this could lead to in their search for treasure. Many of the recent findings concern the legendary Money Pit. The series revolves around a group of treasure hunters led by brothers Marty and Rick Lagina as they search for treasure on the eponymous island. The series recently released Season 12 on November 12, 2024. The Fellowship of the Dig recently returned to Oak Island and searched for treasure within the famous Money Pit. Reportedly, Rick Lagina had read about the Money Pit as a child, inspiring him and his brother to start their famous search. The crew also brought along new and improved technology. Despite a few setbacks from previous seasons, they already managed to find a few artifacts by the first episode. Towards the start, the crew notably uncovered an unidentified shaft. There is currently some hope that the shaft might lead straight into the Money Pit. As noted by Mill, there is also some hope that the team could find Shaft 1, the first entrance to the pit. This mysterious shaft has been a subject of interest for treasure hunters for years. In particular, it was also noted that two unknown shafts were found so close together. Finding this unusual, this in turn has led to some speculation that one of the shafts was covered up. The crew also have some theories as to what recent finds could lead to. The Fellowship has also notably considered installing a camera on excavation equipment. This could help obtain in-depth footage of the search and possibly inspire increased productivity in the crew. In the new season's first episode, The New Digs, the Lagina brothers also found various artifacts that vary in age. This includes a 14th century lead barter token and 17th century iron tools. In the episode, Gary Drayton could also be seen uncovering a cut coin. Upon further investigation, it was found that it was silver with some lead content. While some faint writing could be found, it was hard to uncover any details even after scanning. Still, some of the crew members theorized that the coin could somehow be connected to unearthed treasure in the area. The autumn sun filtered through the canopy of trees on Oak Island, casting golden light over the clearing near the Money Pit. Rick and Marty Lagina stood together, their faces a mix of anticipation and skepticism. Decades of searching, theorizing, and digging had brought them here, to another day on the hunt for the legendary treasure buried deep beneath the island's soil. Craig Tester approached with a clipboard in hand, his usual calm demeanor giving no indication of the bombshell he was about to deliver. "We've received the results from the core samples," he said, his voice steady. "And you're going to want to see this." Rick, ever the pragmatist, raised an eyebrow. "What is it, Craig?" "Another anomaly? A new type of wood we can date back to the 1600s. Craig shook his head and handed over the clipboard. "Take a look." Marty snatched the papers and scanned them quickly. His eyes widened, and he let out a low whistle. "You're kidding me." "What? What is it?" Rick demanded. Craig pointed to a specific section of the report. This core sample came from 175 feet down, near the eastern edge of the shaft. It contains traces of gold, significant traces. Rick's breath caught. Gold? After years of chasing clues and recovering everything from coconut fibers to ancient nails, this was something tangible, something that screamed treasure. But Craig wasn't finished. That's not all. There are also traces of osmium. "Osmium?" Marty echoed. Craig nodded. "One of the rarest elements on Earth. It's typically found in platinum ores and is almost unheard of in naturally occurring deposits like this." For a moment, the clearing was silent, the weight of the revelation sinking in. This wasn't just a hint of treasure. It was a confirmation that something extraordinary lay beneath their feet. "Let's get back to the war room," Rick said, his voice steady but filled with purpose. "We need to plan our next move." The war room, piecing together the puzzle. Inside the war room, the team gathered around the table, the energy palpable. Jack Begley had already pulled up a detailed map of the island on the monitor, highlighting the area where the core sample was taken. "I've been looking at the historical records again," Jack said, "and there's something odd about this part of the island. It lines up with the old stories about a secondary shaft, one that might have been used to transport treasure. Gary Drayton leaned forward, his metal detector resting against the wall. Aye, if that's the case, we could be dealing with a major stash. Gold and osmium? That's no ordinary pirate loot. It's got to be something big, something royal or ceremonial. Alex Legina chimed in. It's also worth considering that osmium was known in ancient times, but it wasn't widely used. If this is part of a larger treasure, it might be tied to an advanced civilization or an elite group. The theories swirled like a whirlwind, each more tantalizing than the last. The Templar Knights? A lost cache of Spanish gold? Perhaps something even older tied to pre-Columbian explorers. Back to the shaft, unearthing the unthinkable. 2 days later, the team assembled at the dig site, their equipment ready for a deeper excavation. The heavy machinery roared to life, and the painstaking process of drilling and sifting began. As the drill bit plunged deeper into the earth, Rick stood by, hands on his hips, his mind racing. What if this was it? What if all the years of effort, the ridicule, and the relentless pursuit of a legend were about to pay off? Hours passed, and then, at a depth of 180 feet, the drill struck something hard. Not rock, something else. Something metallic. Stop the drill, Marty shouted, waving his arms. The team carefully extracted the drill bit, and with it came a fragment of metal unlike anything they'd seen before. It shimmered faintly in the sunlight, its surface etched with intricate designs. Carrie, you're up, Rick said, handing the fragment to the metal detecting expert. Gary examined it closely, his practiced eyes narrowing. This ain't just gold. This is something else entirely. Look at these markings, they're ancient. Maybe even pre-Columbian. The fragment was rushed to the mobile lab, where a preliminary analysis confirmed their suspicions. The metal was an alloy of gold, osmium, and a third, unidentified element. A chamber unearthed. The discovery spurred the team to dig further, employing every resource at their disposal. Days turned into weeks, and finally they hit what appeared to be the ceiling of a chamber. With careful precision, the team breached the chamber, revealing a space that had been untouched for centuries. The air was thick and musty, and the faint glint of something precious caught their eyes. Inside they found an array of artifacts, golden chalices, intricately carved statues, and what appeared to be a map etched onto a large, flat stone. The map depicted Oak Island, but with additional markings that suggested the existence of other hidden chambers. But the centerpiece of the chamber was a massive chest, bound with iron and adorned with more of the strange etchings they'd seen on the metal fragment. With great effort, the team pried the chest open, revealing its contents. Gold coins, gemstones, and jewelry spilled out, their brilliance undimmed by time. At the very bottom lay a series of scrolls, their delicate parchment surprisingly well preserved. The scrolls, a revelation. Back in the war room, the scrolls were carefully unrolled and examined. They were written in a mix of Latin and an unknown script, but one phrase stood out: custodium in aeternum, guarded for eternity. Rick's voice was quiet as he read the words aloud. This wasn't just a treasure, it was meant to be hidden, protected from the world. Marty nodded. But why, and by whom? The scrolls hinted at a secret society, one tasked with safeguarding knowledge and wealth from the ancient world. The treasure wasn't merely material, it was a legacy, a bridge to a forgotten history. A new chapter. As the episode came to a close, the camera panned over the faces of the team. They had finally found what they'd been searching for, but the discovery raised more questions than it answered. Rick summed it up best: we've spent years chasing a mystery, and now we're standing on the edge of something much bigger than we ever imagined. This isn't the end of the story, it's just the beginning. And so Oak Island remained what it had always been, a place of wonder, intrigue, and secrets waiting to be uncovered.